All right, today, a good old-fashioned what's the difference video between these two small SUVs. This one, the 2021 Chevrolet Trailblazer, is considered a compact, whereas the 2021 Mazda CX-30 is considered a subcompact. Either way, they're extra small SUVs, and today I'm going to do a comparison. What's the difference between the engines, the insides, the cargo space, and a few other things as well. Let's get started. So in terms of where the Trailblazer sits in the Chevy lineup, the Chevrolet Trax a little bit smaller, then you've got the Trailblazer, and a little bit bigger is the Equinox. So the Trailblazer sits right in between those two vehicles. In the Mazda lineup, you have the CX-3, then the CX-30, and then the CX-5. So it sits right in between, kind of a tweener, but for some reason they don't call it the CX-4, it's the CX-30. As far as what's new with each vehicle, the Trailblazer, all new. Last time we saw this vehicle was back in 2009, so it's had a 12-year hiatus before Chevy brought back the Trailblazer name. As far as the CX-30, mostly unchanged for this year. They are adding Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard features, and they've added a turbocharged engine to this. So now we have a turbocharged engine, increases horsepower to 250. Your Trailblazer comes in 5 trim levels: L, LS, LT, RS, and active, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive available. Trim levels for the CX-30, they've got 4 of them: the base, select, preferred, and premium. Front-wheel drive is standard, but you can get all-wheel drive available on each and every trim level if you want. 2 powertrain options for the Trailblazer this year: 1.2-liter turbo 3-cylinder or a 1.3-liter turbo 3-cylinder. The 1.2-liter gets 137 horses, 162 pound-feet of torque. The 1.3-liter gets 155 horses, 174 pound-feet of torque. The powertrain on the Mazda is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, 186 horses, 186 pound-feet of torque, 6-speed automatic transmission, or if you opted for the turbo, which we have, same deal, but you get 250 horsepower. Your fuel economy with the Trailblazer, up to 29 city, up to 33 on the highway. Fuel economy numbers for the Mazda, up to 25 city, up to 33 on the highway. If you went with a front-wheel drive Trailblazer, you're looking at a CVT. If you went with the all-wheel drive, 9-speed automatic transmission. And again, front-wheel drive is standard on the CX-30, but all-wheel drive is available on all trim levels. Big difference in cargo space between these vehicles. Here in the CX-30, you're looking at 20.2 cubic feet of volume behind this back row. These do fold down, and that increases it to 45.2. Now you're looking at 25.4 cubic feet of volume behind the back row of the Trailblazer. Fold these down. Again, it's a 60-40 split. You increase it to just over 54 cubic feet. Now look at your backseat legroom and headroom in the Trailblazer. Of course, a little bit bigger vehicle, and that makes sense because here's my position behind the driver's seat, and this is my position as the driver. And I actually have a little bit of room between my knees and the back of the seat. The seat actually sits up a little higher than the Mazda. In the Mazda, you sit down a little bit lower, so I feel like I have a higher viewpoint sitting back here. And clearly headroom is much better. In fact, the entire cabin is larger, but I understand because it's a compact versus the subcompact SUV, and it makes a big difference. I feel like there's so much more space in here, although we don't have a sunroof, moonroof up front. So here's your real-world legroom and headroom example inside the CX-30, the smaller of the two vehicles. I'm 5'11", and this is my position as a driver, so basically me sitting behind myself, and you can see my knees are right up against it. So not a lot of room. Yes, it's a 5-passenger vehicle, but most likely 2 full-size adults in the back. But there you go in terms of legroom in the back of the CX-30. Yes, headroom is a little bit tight, but you can see that Mazda has included an indent in the roof line for some of the taller passengers. I'm okay at 5'11", but with much taller passengers, they're probably going to be a little bit cramped. This may sound odd, but I actually like the way this looks here inside the Trailblazer versus the Mazda. Maybe it's just the colors, how bright it is. I'm not quite sure, but I really do love how colorful the screen is. Now, 7 inches is standard, 8 inches is the optional upgrade, whereas the Mazda is just 8.8 inches, which is nice. Both have the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities, so that's really sharp. This does have, which the other one doesn't have, a wireless charging pad. So that's what this Trailblazer has that the CX-30 does not. And there's your steering wheel mounted controls. You know, just a brighter look. There's a dark sportiness to the other one. And as I mentioned when I was in the back seat, the cabin is so much bigger. You have more of a sloping roof line with the Mazda versus the Trailblazer stands up a little bit higher. So with that, more headroom in the back seat as well as the front seat. Seems like technologically wise, this has more upgrades, but the dash not as stylish or elegant as the Mazda, but I do like the colors. I like how it stands out. All right, here's a look inside our CX-30 in terms of cabin, steering wheel, and controls, infotainment screen as well, which is 8.8 inches. Not too shabby right up there on the dashboard. It is controlled by this dial down below. We do have a sport mode and also a comfort mode, automatic hold for brake. So all this is going to control what's there on the screen. Steering wheel mounted controls, get a look at that so you can make a comparison between the Trailblazer. Pretty straightforward. Instrument cluster as well. Not too bad. I would say that the screen up top could be more colorful, but hey, that's just me. So that's an example of what it looks like when you're listening to Sirius XM on what they display on the screen. In general, people really like the interior of the CX-30 and Mazdas in general, and I have to agree, it is a good looking cabin. As far as MSRP range, the new Trailblazer is between $19,000 and $25,500, whereas the CX-30 is between $22,000 and $29,000. I'll put more information on everymandriver.com on both of these vehicles, so if you want to dig deeper, I'll put a link below this video. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Adios.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.